Hi everyone, welcome to week 11. We're going to learn the comparison of adjectives, and we'll talk about what that means as we go through. So what comparison means is that you've got your kind of regular quote-unquote adjectives. Those are here, and that's what's called the positive, though we don't use that term too often. Then you've got your comparative forms, which is the ER form. So fast, faster. All right, and then of course you got your superlative forms, which is the EST form, fast, faster, fastest. And of course you don't necessarily need the with the superlative. You certainly can have it, but you can also just have the fastest runner, right? Things like that. All right. Comparative is when you are comparing two things. So let's say you have only one sibling. You are not the oldest or the youngest. You are the older or the younger, right? So you are the younger sibling or the older sibling. You need to have at least two siblings to be a superlative. All right? And then there are some irregulars in English, and a lot of these will be irregular in Latin as well. All right, so right, good of course becomes better in the comparative and best in the superlative. And in fact, good and bad, not far, but good and bad will be irregular. So here's another chart, just the same kind of information, just a little bigger, a little more colorful, slightly different, but gives you the same stuff. All right, so here is kind of the important part about comparatives. And note that we are dealing with comparatives. We'll take a look at superlatives in a sec. All right, all adjectives, 212/usa adjectives, as well as third declension adjectives, will use third declension endings for comparative. So all comparative forms use third declension endings. And you can see that they are two-form third declension endings. So eor for the masculine and feminine, and then eos for the neuter. And then eor becomes the stem. Sorry, wrote right through that. Eor then becomes the stem for all other forms. Of course, es is the accusative singular neuter because we know that neuter nominatives and accusatives are the same. So for instance, if I have a 212 adjective like altus for its comparative, it becomes altior, altius. Those are the two nominatives, and then into the genitive altioris. So it doesn't matter that it's an usa adjective in the positive. All adjectives use third declension endings, for their comparative forms. All right, and that is kind of outlined here as well. So read that over if you want. But I will reiterate: all adjectives, all comparative adjectives, I should say, use third declension endings, and those are all listed there. The endings are the same. There's no difference in the ending, but all adjectives use third declension endings. All right. So let's take a look at a couple examples. This is the same motto for two different colleges. So you can see vita abundantior, all right, and then vita abundantior over here. All right. So not an abundant life, right? That would be the positive. All right, that would be vita abundantia, but vita abundantior, right, a more abundant life. Okay, a more fulfilling life, a more rewarding life, something like that. All right, but that's what the comparative does. That's what the eor does, is it gives us that more, and it distinguishes between straight abundant, the positive, and then more abundant, the comparative. All right, and again for you soccer fans, so vis unita fortior, all right, and there's kind of an understood est. Let me make that a little clearer, like an understood verb to be. So vis unita means like sort of shared power or sort of common strength, something like that. All right, and then of course is stronger, fortior. And again for fortior, right, this is fortis, forte, the third declension adjective. It means strong or brave. So vis unita fortis, right, shared strength is strong. Vis unita fortior, right, shared strength is stronger. And again, that's that distinction between the positive and the comparative. All right, this was an interesting one. This is the city of Detroit, apparently. Their motto, who knew? This, by the way, seems to be, I researched a little bit, a mistake in the motto. It should be speramus, and I looked for a form that would use an I, and it doesn't seem to exist. So I don't quite know what's going on there. Anyway, here is your irregular comparative, right? So this is the irregular comparative, melior, melius, all right? It means better, right? So we hope for better things. That A is a neuter ending, right? It's that substantive use of the adjective where we supply a noun based on the gender. We hope for better things, and it, that's the city, resurget, it will rise from the ashes. And apparently you can kind of see over here in the illustration, there was a big fire in 1905 that kind of damaged a lot of the city, and so this arose out of that, out of a response to that fire. So melior, we hope for better things, right? Comparing kind of the fire to post fire. That's where the comparison comes in. All right, now moving on to the superlative. All right, so you can see the superlative form here. So just like all comparatives are third declension adjectives, all superlatives are two and two or us adjectives. And essentially the ending is going to be issimus. Sorry, I ran out of room there. Issimus But it's going to be that issim that is going to indicate the superlative. All right, so this in the example is gratus, and it becomes gratissimi, all right, on the inscription there. So in the 10th year of Edward VII as king, right, this building is dedicated to Queen Victoria, all right, or sorry, I should say, the most grateful citizens, the most thankful citizens, cives gratissimi, dedicate this building to Queen Victoria. So that is gratissimi. All right. Even though, as with comparatives, even if you have adjectives of different declension, still uses the issimus a. So fortis from the previous slide, right? That is a third declension adjective. So that means strong, and it's superlative fortissimus All right, so issimus is the superlative. It means most or est. It's always going to be usalum, no matter what the original adjective was. All right, here's sort of a medal from a king, I believe a king of France. But you can see over here, Christianissimus, all right, which I kind of liked as a sort of a fun/funny word. All right, so this is Louis XV, King Louis XV. Rex, of course, means king. All right, and he is not just Christian, right? That would be Christianus, but he is Christianissimus, the most Christian or the very Christian. All right, and you can see that issimus that we talked about right there. That issim is what indicates the superlative. All right, so just a little practice with comparatives and superlatives. All right, so you've got adjectives underlined. You're identifying them as positive, comparative, or superlative. Please make sure to read the chapter because there are some other translations for the comparatives and superlatives, and those will be involved in these exercises. So biggest superlative, more comparative. All right, funny, positive. All right, and I'll leave the rest for you. All right, so now we're choosing nouns to agree, or sorry, choosing adjectives to agree with the noun on the left. And again, remember when we do these, you've got to figure out the gender, number, case of the noun, and then apply that to the adjectives. All right, so liberi, that is going to be masculine, all right, plural, and nominative or genitive singular. All right, so nominative plural or genitive singular. All right, and the only one that fits that is prudentiores, which is nominative plural. So you get rid of the genitive singular, all right, and that is going to agree. All right, let's do a superlative one. So casus, right, that is going to be masculine, nominative plural. Can be genitive singular, can be accusative plural as well. All right, but again, the only one that's going to fit that is utilissimi as the nominative plural. Casus, by the way, is a fourth declension noun. That's why the U.S. is nominative plural. All right, and then again, I'll leave the rest for you. All right, so let's take a look at nominatives. All right, so you are translating just the underlined pair of adjectives. All right, so leges Romanae justiores. So justiores, that's our comparative, right? So more just Roman laws. All right, and let's do a superlative. So our bravest leader. All right, and that isimus, that's our superlative. That's why it's bravest, versus justiores, which is the comparative. All right, more just. All right, here's the writing one, and you're going to be forming the comparative and superlative of the adjectives. All right, so just the nominatives with the genitives. All right, so justior, justiores, and I'm not too worried about the neuter for the comparatives. And then justissimus, justissimi. All right, and you can see that it is an osa adjective, but of course all comparatives will be third, and all superlatives will be osa or os-e. All right, I'll do a third declension adjective as well, though it's one we've already seen. So fortior, fortioris. All right, and then fortissimus. All right. All right, so no real new endings to learn because the endings are the same, but learn those forms, learn those signals of what makes a comparative and superlative and how to translate them. Please email me if you have any questions, and I will be here next week. Have a good week. Thanks.